So we are downstairs in the basement of the Jacaranda, the famous Jacaranda. And with me is the famous Joe Mariangi, head of events and marketing here at the Jack. How's it going? A lot of changes lately here.
Indeed, Jay. Well, since the last time you'd come down, obviously there's been a lot of things happening here. Back in July, we had our record store open upstairs, and down here, the run of live music and live events have really started to come on. And 2015 was really big year for us because it's been a lot of fun. The music scene in Liverpool is like really starting to gather momentum, and thankfully a lot of the artists are passing through here.
They're coming through the Jack.
Yeah.
Now, this place is like so famous, it's unbelievable. It's one of the most famous venues in the city. Obviously, the Beatles have played on this stage behind us. Just tell us a bit about the Jacaranda and its history.
Well, I mean, it's great because being in Jacaranda all the time, I get to show a lot of tourists around, have a little chat with them, and the amount of people that get really emotional coming down here, and as I'm telling them that right behind us on the very stage where this drum kit's set up, that this is where they did actually play their first shows. And between 1958 and 1961, this is really where they called home. So it does mean a lot of, I mean, it's strange because not being the biggest Beatles fan, I shouldn't really admit that, not being the biggest fan myself, I have honestly, it's maybe have a really newfound appreciation for the band and what they did and how they have touched millions of people around the world. But the Jacaranda, as I said, especially in the Liverpool musical history, it's got a really key place in the Merseybeat era, and hopefully we're kind of trying to start that again.
Yeah, well, it's happening now. The record store upstairs, we've just been up. It's 2 PM. It's chocker busy. There's great music on. People are having a good time. Tell us about the record store. How all that come about?
Well, the record store, funnily enough, was the first part of the puzzle for when we were refurbishing the Jacaranda. Managing director Graham Stanley, who unfortunately can't be here at the minute, his wife gave him a Steepletone record player, and he was sat outside his house as he was contemplating what the hell to do for the Jacaranda, and he was like, wouldn't it be a great place if there was a new quirky vinyl record store? And then that was the first piece of the puzzle, but the last one to go in. So we reopened back in July, and it's great because the community that we have in the Jacaranda anyway are really into vinyl, really into the music, but it's just really has grown. And we've started to feed a lot of different types of events up there, so a lot more people are using it and discovering vinyl. And you find there's been a massive vinyl resurgence in the last 12 months.
Well, what we got to mention though, it's not just a record store. You can sit there with your own vinyl player and pick out tunes, records as you wish.
Yeah, there's 4 booths up there that were all hand built. Between the 4 booths, there's actually 8 miles of cable. So if you chat to Tom, who built them, Tom and Linton, and who designed them as well, like, it wasn't easy. But as you said, there's a vinyl record deck sunk into your own booth with speakers right behind your head, and you can pick from anything that is in the store except for the new and reissued, because that's all sealed, but all of the vintage section. And we have a Liverpool library with all Liverpool artists and everything. But we're trying to gather as much vinyl released by Liverpool artists as possible that you can listen to. But yeah, there really are something special. We've never seen anything like it, really. So it's great to be a part of.
It's cool. And there's something else up there which is pretty cool. Tell us about this, the Voiceograph. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called the Voiceograph. In short, it cuts directly to vinyl. It kind of looks like a big phone booth, but it's loads of flashing lights. It's absolutely incredible. They were originally designed to be on Air Force bases to send Air Force personnel to send messages back home. And then during the war, or during World War II, they were really popularised to send messages to the front line. And then they kind of really started to, when tape started coming in and vinyl started to die, so during the late 70s really, they kind of disappeared. I think there used to be one in Lime Street as well, but the one that we have, the Voiceograph that we have, is the only one in Europe that has a permanent residency in a venue. Obviously, Jack White, who has been huge for the resurgence of vinyl, he's got 3 in his house.
Wow.
And then he's got a couple in Third Man Records in his record store over there, which is very much, it took a lot of influence from that, because obviously you really have to, if you want to go down the modern way of how vinyl's going, you'd look at Jack White. And with the Voiceograph, it's brilliant. It's a very delicate machine, you know. It's very fragile, so
don't touch it.
Don't touch it, don't kick it. But the sound that you get out of it, it's incredible. The character.
So you can sing and record your voice onto vinyl. So Ellie Phillips, who's my co-host, believes she's got a beautiful voice. It's all right.
That's not what I've heard.
You know. Yeah. It's better after you've had a few bevies, to be fair. But she could go up there now and record her voice onto that vinyl. She'd probably break it, but that's what she could do.
Well, yeah. As I said, it's fragile, so let's be careful. But yeah, you can go up there and, as you say, record. And what we're looking at doing as well is dropping a microphone into the middle of the room and having like afternoon sessions on the weekend. Brilliant. Where you can record the whole ambient noise of the room and have an artist play. Which, you know, that's magical.
You've got like a recording studio, you know, inbuilt.
Oh yeah,
there, really.
Yeah. And I mean, what we have on our heads really is that someone would come in here into this basement on a Thursday or a Sunday for our open mic, find musicians that they want to be in a band in, then ultimately come and practice. Which is obviously we've got equipment set up here, so we've got a band who we've had to kick out to do this interview, and then ultimately start playing shows in here. Then maybe record an acoustic track in our voiceograph machine, and then eventually sell the vinyl in our record store. So it's a big circle. Yeah, we're trying to
tell us briefly about some of the events, because we've got lots going on in the basement, some going on upstairs as well. Record store days coming up.
Yeah,
just give us a few coming up.
Yeah, well, record store day is coming up, and we're planning some stuff with Melatonin with Edgar Jones as well, which is going to be really exciting to do. We had him do a talk quite recently up there, which was absolutely phenomenal. The place was packed to the rafters. On the 3rd of February is the next instalment of our drink and draw, where we invite people in the graphics and arts community to all come together and essentially drink and draw. It's like a big networking event for artists, and the first one we did was absolutely amazing. We've got loads of giveaways from art schools and from art supply shops. So that's happening up there. We have loads of spoken word events up there. We have DJs coming in, playing their own sets with the stuff that they want to play. We have producers coming in that giving talks of how they have found the music industry over the years. But you know, to check out our Facebook page if you want to find a big list of all the events.
It's a good Facebook page as well, and online as well. The
website is still up and running just yet.
Just Google it, you'll find something. But 3rd of Feb is the big one, drink and draw.
Definitely.
At the record store at the Jacaranda. Joe, thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I'm going to go make sure Ellie hasn't broken the voiceograph.
Me and you both.
Thanks for having us, mate. We'll see you again.
My pleasure, mate.
Joe, thank you.